This problem demonstrates the problems of adapting what's called phonology, that is, the sounds of a language, from one language to another, especially when you're borrowing words. So looking at some of these examples, they look a little bit different in the Brazilian Portuguese version, but there is a pattern. So the first thing to notice is that if there is a consonant on the end of a lot of these words from English, there's a little I sound. Facebook, Titanic, etc. Okay, you'll see that also if there's two consonants in a row, very often there's an I in there as well. McDonald's, because makd, two consonants there. Or Facebook, there's two consonants in a row, so there's a little I in the middle. If there is an R at the beginning of a word, in the Brazilian Portuguese version it becomes an H sound. Roque for rock, radical for radical, Ruben for Ruben. Another thing, if you have an L on the end after a vowel, it becomes a W sound. So McDonald's and radical. Okay, now another little thing. The T and D sounds become ch and j in certain situations. Not all situations though, as we can see with hot dogi, the D stays as a D sound, or in Titanic, the first T becomes a ch, but the second one stays as a T. The difference is if it's before I or E, the so-called front vowels, then the sound changes, but if it's before an A or an O, the so-called back vowels, it doesn't change. Last little thing, this ng sound on the end of Ruben, Ruben. So looking at them here, McFadden, well, there's two consonants in a row, kf, so that's going to have an I in between. The D sound is followed by an E, so it's j, and the N at the end is going to become an ng. So that's a tricky one, makifadjing. Hip hop, there's just going to be an I after the P's, hippie hoppy. Notebook, well, you're going to have the I as well, but the T is going to become ch because it's before an I. So notebook. Reddit, the R at the beginning is going to become an H, and both the D and the T are going to become j and ch, because the T will then have an I after it. So hejic. Personal, well, the only difference there is the al is going to become au, as we saw, personal. And for ticket, the T's are going to change again, because the first one has an I after it, and the last one, as we see, an I comes after a consonant at the end, so ticket.